In Where Winds Meet, there are a couple of different professions that you can actually become, and technically being a construction worker is one of them. Between your actual player's environment on the map and a guild system, there is a building system that you guys can make use of. But beyond being a construction worker, you can also be a healer or a educated scholar that is up for debate with literally anybody. So in today's video, I thought we'd take a look at all these different systems and finally learn how to make use of them to start to build our own house. So I actually have quite a bit of things that I want to do, and hopefully we have time to do everything in this video. First things first, we're gonna go into our events tab and we're gonna go through all these miscellaneous events and collect what we can collect, if you will. It's a little bit unfortunate, but as you guys can see, we have a Dawn to Dusk event for a total of 27 days remaining. I completely missed the last event due to the infrequent nature of playing that we've been having with this game, but for this batch, this new month of events, man, we're gonna lock in and we're gonna make a lot of progress on this game. Now, if I take out my weapon, and if you guys look at the bottom right hand corner, things are looking a little bit different as far as our button layout. And that's because the game has gotten a pretty hefty quality of life update, and we can now see all of our button map layouts on screen at the same time, which is tremendous. And in fact, if you happen to go into your settings now and then into button settings over here, you guys can go ahead and head on over to custom single, and you guys can set keybinds for all these different things. PC people are especially happy because before they didn't have keybinds to switch items, for example, so it's kind of like tedious to switch items. I think you had to hold like Alt or something, but now you can just, again, you can set your keybinds and make things a little bit easier for you. Just tailor everything to your experience and your playstyle, so that's pretty good. Now, beyond that, if we go into appearance here, you guys can see that our character appearance customization menu / UI is completely different to how it was before, and they've done this because with the next like main update or soonish, don't quote me on any of this stuff, but I'm talking about as far as the timing, these features have been confirmed, but currently we only have like one preset to define our top and bottom gear, but they are going to make an update to where we can actually allocate and adjust the bottom half of our character so we can mix and match attires and pretty much use them as we would deem fit. Now, by the way, I am loving the fact that you can go through all this stuff and just like equip stuff that's even locked off just so you can see how it'll look on your character, and basically you can envision the drip and then buy it. That's the goal, right? Additionally, since we are on the settings menu, I might as well show you guys this other new update that they've done. Basically, you can now scroll all the way down in your other settings and you can adjust your time settings in game. I haven't really fiddled too much with online play, but I've heard that they were using basically time zones set to like China, and it was very difficult to understand when something was happening because you had to convert it. But now you can change everything to your local time, and you can use a bunch of different other configurations. So this will be very, very beneficial to you. Now, additionally, I want to test this out because apparently they've added like voice lines to when you attack and whatnot.
Strategic retreat.
Yeah, there you go. You guys heard it with the strategic retreat. So they don't always pop up, but they will randomly, if that makes sense. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Yes. And as I'm looking through my chat box here, my boy Miguel Francisco is telling me to make a guild already. I gotta get on that, and we will possibly soon. Wow, would you look at that? My boy Tariq is also asking me if I'm planning to make a guild. Yeah, I gotta get on that, guys. I'm sorry. On that note, I do want to let you guys know that I will be streaming this game pretty much every day on Twitch. So if you guys want to see that and are interested in playing alongside each other to do co-op and whatnot, links located in the video description below, and I'll catch you there. Anyway, before I become too far gone in this new quality of life update, and even discussing the new update that should be out by the time this video comes out on the channel, I'd rather just focus on what we're doing. So if I start tracking this building one last job quest, you guys will see under the description that it says we need to reach level 25 and we have to visit the artisan Yanyun at Halo Peak. Coincidentally, if you guys look at the map, right next to it, we have this little flame symbol, which will unlock the entire region's visibility of the map for us. So we'll do that first before heading over to the quest giver. Construction is one of the things that I did not know existed in this game, but I found out relatively early into my obsession with it. However, it will take people not a lot of time depending on how you play the game, but it'll take you some decent amount of play time to be able to unlock construction or building, because you actually need to first get to level 25 before you will get the quest notification that you can do the side quest to unlock the feature. Oh, by the way, I have seen this scene before where the goose attacks this little bear here in this area. I'll show you guys basically where it's at. It's literally at the divider between this region and the next. And you basically want to come down here because apparently if you observe this long enough, you can actually get a brand new skill. So you might need to come a little bit closer to water, but once you get this observe prompt, you want to press the button for it. And then it's pretty easy. All you would want to do here is just press the X button or whatever button it is on PC when you see these golden rings, so that you can commit to a skill theft. And there you go. We have gotten the Honking Havoc, as you guys can see, which is an ability that uses the actual goose. Like, you summon the goose, it honks 2 times, staggers your enemy, and you can attack them in the process. Man, most other games would make you go around a mountainous area and would make it impossible for you to climb the side or a cliff, and not in this game. You can just walk right up alongside it. I love it, dude. All right, fellas, after what feels like 50 million years, I have finally reached the Wayfarer, so we'll talk to him. And this should give us, there you go, the region to the north. Unlocked. Awesome. Now, real quick, I did realize that I have a talent point I have not used. We're going to use that to unlock an additional mystic skill slot here, so that is pretty nice. So effectively, that talent point will make it so that we can unlock an additional, mystic skill on our other palette. So that's pretty nice. As you guys can tell, the game is telling us now that we can press the R2 button and then up on the D-pad. Or, they told us that wrong. But we can hold down the R2 button and then press left on the D-pad to use our Tai Chi. And any other ability is going to be in its corresponding directional D-pad button. So whether that be up, right, down, whatever, or left. So with that being said, right next to us over here is the quest giver for building. Anyways, leaf swirl. In leaf covered spots, we can use Tai Chi to gather and scatter leaves. Well, I think they might be talking about this area, not the area we were at before. So let's go ahead and use it regardless, all right? And here we go, chat. Nice. It's the little things that count in this game, and I love that. But all right, let's talk to this guy, Yanyun. Are you all right, senior? It's nothing. Is there something you need? Oh, I'm here to help repair, the pagoda. All right, so basically this guy wanted us to get some stones. We already have the stones on us because I've been collecting literally everything in sight. But I would assume if you didn't have any on you, you would have to go around and just collect them. But let's talk to him again. So after talking with him, he wants us to open the navigation panel and then press on bag because he wants us to refine the stone that we have. So it needs some crafting, right? So basically in our items bag inventory, you can press the square key if we're on controller to press the craft button. And then we can select the pagoda stone top here and craft that. Yo, what the heck? That sound effect is crazy. So now that we have that, we can talk to him again, and we're asking him if what we made is all right, and he says very good. So after that's said and done, we can switch to build mode in the game by holding down, again, if you're on controller, touchpad and R2. If you're on PC, I don't really know. Oh, F4 to switch to build mode. All right. So let's go ahead and do our thing. And here you go. It says build. We can build pavilions and houses as you please across the 9 provinces. Soaring on eaves and open halls, freedom lies in the Yanyun. If that's how you even pronounce that, right? So basically, they want us to fill the blue diagram with the items required. So we have the stone pagoda piece 1 and 3. So we'll go ahead and use the piece 2 over here. And then, is it 3 at the very top or... Oh no, it's the pagoda top. Actually, the stone pagoda, piece 3 goes on top of that. And then at the very tippity top, as you guys can see, that's where you can place the top. So there you go. That's effectively building in a nutshell as we did it. It's a little scuffed, in my opinion, with controller. Probably easier on mouse and keyboard, but hey, that's my opinion. So let's talk to Yanyun again. And he says, very good. Look, our work here is done. All right, so Gramps is telling us about learning some construction skills here. So apparently if we press the triangle button, we have this sub menu to the building mode, and there's more things that we can select here that might not necessarily be in our little hot bar over here. So yeah, we have a lot of different things here, as you guys can tell. This is pretty sick. Now, with that being said, we just have to talk to him again. He has said that there's basically nothing left to teach us. Oh, that's pretty sad. So Gramps apparently doesn't have too much time left, which is why he's always holding his chest like that and coughing. So his days are limited. We told him we'll come back and visit him, and he says don't bother. I don't have much time left, so that's really sad. However, we did unlock a brand new talent point now, guys, and I think I'm gonna use it on the Serene Breeze. So there you go. Basically, Serene Breeze allows us to channel ki into our body to clear blockage in the veins, and it can be used while under attack or control effects. On hit, it reduces the target's endurance recovery by 50% and deals some damage, not a whole lot. So we effectively can use this as a bit of a counter attack, but for the time being, we're not going to use it just because I prefer the loadout that we currently have. In the future, though, I will equip this, so it's nice to have. Now, with that being said, if you guys look at my solo mode level, we are basically level 29 out of 30. So we're almost at 30, which at that point, we can break through and go to world level 4 effectively. I think the best way to get there and to get this done as far as like leveling up is to do some of the side quests, that are available to us. I know a lot of them are not marked here, but they are basically here. As you guys can see in my exploration tab, we have a whole lot of them. So the next thing that I am going to personally do is literally going to be this Legacy Healer's Calling, because apparently when we make it over here, we unlock the healing profession, which is something that I will discuss in just a moment. While we're traveling over there, we do have this little butterfly minigame that we'll complete. And I want to let you guys know, to continue the yap about building and whatnot, what we just unlocked is a very surface level look into building. There is a lot that you can do, and obviously there are so many different type of materials and resources in the game world that you can collect. And as you're collecting them, you can obviously after go into your crafting menu and make various different types of furniture pieces. And the very, very cool part is that you can effectively set base or make your house wherever it is that you would want to do it. All right, so here we go, guys. We just got the wandering, I think, seal done here. Pretty nice. So they also do have a photo mode here. Oh no, this is the wandering seal. I'm not gonna do this right now. I don't feel like doing that. Right? So right now, as you guys can tell, I am trying to like climb up this pagoda because apparently there's like a treasure up here, as you guys can tell. I don't even know if this thing is gonna be good or not, but hey man, 5 jade. Well, treasure is treasure. I mean, we did get a couple of other items, as you guys can tell. So if I go back into our crafting menu and go back into construction, I can show you guys a little bit more of an in-depth look at basically the things that we can make, right? So we have like different tiers, all labeled tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. We're gonna do all tiers here. And you guys can see there is a pretty hefty amount of things that you can make. You have like farming tools that you can make. You can make like different platforms and you name it. Like they just have a lot of things that you can do with your homes. Now, apparently, I'm definitely making this. This flowering tree is going to take up 10 of my required materials here, but wherever I decide my home is going to be, I'm putting down this tree. That thing looks beautiful. So they even have stables and whatnot. It's just, again, chat, we don't have like the most sophisticated of systems in place for building and construction in the game as it stands, but we do have a hefty amount of items and a solid foundation for when the game actually unravels, you know, the player housing ecosystem, if you will. And that's going to be so lit because I just can't imagine how crazy people are going to go with that. You guys already have seen how crazy people go with the character customization in this game. Just wait until they add in some actual sophisticated housing system that actually gives benefits to your characters and things of that nature. That's going to be amazing. Now, by the way, I did end up falling on this little button here, and I did like a down slam and pushed the button down. I believe that opened up this little chest over here, and I claimed a reward from here. Just wanted to point that out for you guys as well. Now, just to show you how cool construction is in this game, if I decided like, look, this area looks super pretty, I want to have my house be basically on the edge of this area, I can do that. Like, I can literally build a bunch of like tiles here, build my house, and it can be a floating altar above this beautiful area. And again, you could do this anywhere. You can make it on the side of the lake, side of the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. You can do it anywhere, in the middle of a city. And that's what I really, really like about the construction. Now, I might have shown you guys some footage, but basically even the guild system in this game, or guild as as some people like to call it. That system has its own building counterpart, evidently, and it's not fully fleshed out right now, and people are just speculating a lot about it, but it is there. And again, I probably should have told you about it already. Apparently, you have to use this little emote here to open this up for some reason. Were they trolling? Let's see. Yeah, people, yeah, they were trolling. People were saying that basically you got to talk to this guy and do what he tells you to do. All right, this guy wants us to go to an ancient cavern and go through a trial. I'm not about to do that right now. But anyway, to continue the yap that I was saying about guilds and basically the construction status building that evidently is going to be in there. If I didn't show you guys earlier, I'll show it to you guys as I was yapping. But that system looks really cool, and I'm very much looking forward to when they flesh that out and we can have a bunch of freaking houses in our sect. That is going to be so cool, dude. All right, so I ended up using Celestial Seeds in that treasure chest. Last time I played, I forgot how to actually open up chests when there's like a bunch of snakes surrounding it. You just got to use your Celestial Seeds ability, get close enough to the chest, and then you can open it up and get the items out of there. So we've basically arrived at the quest location, and professions are a thing in this game. You can do different things, such as being a healer, which is why I wanted to get started with this. And then we also have another quest for a different type of profession, and I'll show that to you guys when we get there. But let's go ahead and do this. So how are you feeling now, friend? Anything uncomfortable? Dying. I'm dying. Doctor, help me. Please. It hurts. It hurts. All right. So basically, they want us to gather some herbs to help the injured patient, if you will. So let's go ahead and gather these herbs here. And now we can talk to this guy again, and we'll see what we can do here. All right, so now they actually want us to make the medicines. They want us to go into crafting again, and this time around, they want us to brew a little hemostatic or static, I guess, powder. I don't even know how to pronounce that, chat. I'm sorry. You know, your boy a little dumb. I apologize. All right, so now we made that, we can go ahead and deliver this. So let's give it to them. There you go. So basically, they are now teaching us about healing and whatnot. The doctor basically gave us a little book that we can study. And as you guys can see, we can enter the Winston state and, you know, scout out an injured person. And we can press triangle therefore or thereafter to begin healing or an illness diagnosis, after which we can begin healing them. So again, like I mentioned, this is all stuff that's really, really, really cool. So we just have an unidentified illness with him. Obviously, we are strong enough to actually attempt to heal him. So this one was really easy, but there can be more complex illnesses that we will not be able to actually heal up, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and start the treatment on this guy. And this is what I mean about the professions in this game and how this game is so freaking cool and in-depth. But this is basically our vital energy, our HP bar above our head. And this over here, which is the HP bar above the client's or victim's head, shows the affliction severity. If the severity is reduced to 0, the healing obviously is reduced and completed at that point. So right now they want us to select this inner stillness card or item, whatever you want to call it. So let's leave things as they are for now and observe how the affliction progresses. All right, so we have symptom outbreak. So now it's gonna attack us, right? There you go. We lost a little bit of HP. All right, so we used another card and we did massive damage that time around to the illness. So let's go ahead and use this next, and we'll see what happens when this thing decides to actually attack us. So we'll do next healing cycle here. And I thought it was gonna attack us, but we got a bunch of cards here. So we'll go ahead and use this one first because this is gonna deal damage to it. Then we'll use breath control. And lastly, oh, actually that was all we could do. All right, next healing cycle. Let's get it. So far so good because this thing is not attacking us. Oh, okay, now it attacked us. It didn't do too much damage though. But this is basically like the Gift of Gab minigame, but it's different because this has to do with healing, whereas Gift of Gab is just using your words and insults and things of that nature. But again, there's just so many different mini games, so many different things that you can do in this game. It's freaking amazing. Like, there's literally people in the game that just go around healing. Like, I'm not even joking. That's why you can actually heal with, you know, one of the doctors over here. I think this doctor is literally, yeah, in the Evercare clinic. You can heal with that doctor there, or you can find a player, join their lobby, and get healed up. Like, I'll tell you, this game just has it all. I love it. All right, so we finally unlocked the profession button after talking with the doctor here again. And this will actually keep track of all the different professions that they have in the game. Healer is one of them, which is what we just did. And as you guys can see, we have newly learned medicinal or medical skills here. And we can also enhance the effectiveness of these abilities as well. So for example, I could do a quick enhance here, and there you go. The enhancement was successful, and it just made our, channeling therapy a little bit stronger, if you will. Now, if you go one tab over, we have the healer's upgrade, which shows you basically in your healer profession how good you are. Right now, we are of initiate rank, and we can actually go ahead and click the upgrade button, and we can upgrade our effectiveness, or our rank, if you will, our tier as a healer. It is going to require this item over here, which is a career notebook, and we have not come by a lot of these, but you can buy them, as you guys can see, in the season shop. Over here, they're not that expensive. We have 10,000 jadefish. They only cost 4. But there is a weekly stock limit to these as well. Just wanted to point that out. So I'll go ahead and show you guys basically how this works. And there you go. I clicked upgrade, and now I am rank initiate 2. I'm tier 3 initiate, if you will. I can also press provide healing here so that you can give healing to various different martial masters, if you will, across the world. So yeah, this is what I mean. Like, this game is just so dope. There's so many different things. Beyond that, you can configure your prescription settings for when you happen to play the mini game and things of that nature as well. But if we go back, you guys can see that currently we only have 2 professions here, which is going to be healer and then scholar. But scholar has not been initiated yet. That's actually going to be our next quest line that we're going to get done right now. All right, guys. So we got done with literally everything. We have obtained the Restoring Blossom, which gives us a basic buff passive. This is for our inner way, in case you guys don't know. And dealing critical healing applies 1 stack of nurturing for 3 seconds, increasing the healing received by 2%, stacking up to 3 times. So right now we only have 2 inner ways available for us to equip, and we have basically the best ones that we could have equipped right now. So we're just going to ignore the new one that we just got. So next up, we are going to do Legacy Scholar's Path, which is going to unlock the Scholar's profession for us. That way we can take a look at how that's going to work. And by the way, I did do a little mini game with like Gift of Gab, and I fought against a dude, and basically all these flowers are like bad for your health, which is why if you run through this little town, you hear so many sick people. You constantly hear people like coughing and whatnot. You see that? You see? This guy's rubbing his stomach, dude. I'm telling you, these guys are all down bad. But they have like a cult in this village where they follow these Buddha flowers and whatnot. But I don't know. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a background on the lore in this town. All right, guys. We finally made it over to the Scholar quest line. And this area is very, very beautiful. I will say, take a look. My goodness gracious, man. Not only is everything a treat as far as like the systems, but just the scenery that you enjoy while getting to the places that you need to get to. It's just phenomenal. So this is Master Yan, and we're going to talk to him real quick about the Scholar's Path. Okay, so basically this guy is low-key refusing to teach us about being a scholar, and it's because he thinks that like basically we won't understand. So he wants us to go inside of here and see for ourselves why he thinks the way that he thinks. All right, so now we're talking to this guy named Wei Rajun or something. All right, so now we're starting with a Gift of Gab session here against this guy for the Scholar's Legacy. Basically, the guy out front couldn't convince this guy to give up some notes that he had, and we got to see if we can try to do it ourselves. So if you guys haven't seen the Gift of Gab minigame before, it's basically as if you're talking to a person and you have like your own deck and cards. So as you can see, consumed when using Gift of Gab is inspiration, which is in your lower right hand corner. Then we have our card, which this one deals 140 damage. So you got to click and drag. All right, there you go. And as you use your cards, they deal damage, or maybe they'll debuff and make them more susceptible to damage or insults, if you will. And that's how that works, right? That's their mental focus bar, which is their HP bar at the very top smack center. And it's really easy. Basically, I tend to focus on just attack cards, and I go in order of like weakest attack card to highest consumption for our integrity, which is again the number in the bottom right hand corner, if I remember correctly, something like that. But yeah, this is really easy because this is an example, an isolated example of how things will work. But when you're actually playing this minigame, it's against certain NPCs. They attack and go by really, really, really quickly. So here, I would never choose the defense one. I would just choose this and then press R2 to deal more damage. Same concept here. Then I would do this and deal more damage this way. And again, it's just all really simple. I always go strictly for damage, and that's been the way that I've won all these gift the gab mini games. I probably didn't do the best example there, right? But hopefully you guys understand the mini game and what it means to be a scholar. All right, so we finished talking to that doctor back there. We got the notes off of him. He didn't want to share the notes because he didn't successfully heal one patient out of the 100+ that he healed. And he just wanted to give up and burn the notes, and it's just dumb, you know, story nonsense. But we're gonna turn in these notes here to Yan however you pronounce his name. All right, so now we can go into the profession button, and we've unlocked the scholar profession, which is basically the Yap profession. You know, you're gonna just be playing that gift to gab game with a bunch of people. So I can quickly enhance this arguable button here. And the cool thing about gift the gab is you can make up different decks. So some NPCs that you face off against in this mini game, like a rebuttal deck, right, where you would be good at rebuttals, might not work against them. Maybe you would have to have a provocation deck, right? Deck, I mean, where, you know, provocations and being provocative is going to be way more. Or maybe the bluster deck would be more effective. So again, they have different decks, and I think that's really cool. And as you can tell, they have a lot of different cards that you can actually fine tune and upgrade and things of that nature. Now for this profession, they do have tiers that, well, not tiers, but talismans that you can craft that give you various different bonuses. Like some of them, you know, prolong the effects of certain cards. Sometimes it'll just increase your, for example, endurance regen or key regen, just you know, random miscellaneous things, as you guys can tell. And lastly, we do have the scholar upgrade tab, which also shows us, much like the medical profession, what rank we are. So right now we're a novice scholar. If we go in here, we can use career notebooks, same like the medical profession, in order to, or healing profession, whatever you want to call it, in order to enhance our career and become a higher tiered scholar. So I just went ahead and bought some so that I can upgrade it, and there you go. That's how that works. If you guys end up playing the game and don't have any of these quests unlocked, it's probably because you're not high enough level. As I mentioned earlier, construction unlocks at level 25. These profession quests unlock at level 13. All right. I almost left without collecting my rewards for that quest, but we got all that stuff done, chat. But anyway, guys, that's all we're going to be doing in today's video. We'll do more in the next one.